I think every week just about is probably big for Matchroom, but this is a really, really big time period, right? It's super busy for boxing, and Matchroom's right in the middle of it. Obviously, this Saturday we just alluded to it, or talking about the next card coming up, Ring 4. You have obviously Jesse Bam Rodriguez on that card. It's a stacked card. I call this like a boxing fans card. What do you think about having your guy on the card, actually being there again? How does this one feel?
Yeah, like you said, boxing just seems to be on fire at the moment. Every week, we just did 70,000 at Tottenham for Chris Eubank against Conor Ben. We had Boots before that. Then we was in Texas for the Virgil Ortiz fight, calling him out. Next week we're in Birmingham, then we're in Monte Carlo, then we're in Stockton, then we're in Ghana. Like, it's just week after week. But this card's a brilliant card. Like you said, real kind of boxing fans card. I mean, Jesse Bam Rodriguez in another unification fight. He's one of the boxing fans' top fighters. He's a pound for pound top 5 guy. David Benavidez, such an exciting guy. Devin Haney against Brian Norman, tremendous fight. Abdullah Mason going for the world championship at lightweight as well. So just a really, really stacked card. Normally you'd see one of these fights headline and then, a small undercard beneath. But here you're seeing them all thrown together on a ring card and another huge night in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I mean, very rarely do you see a card where essentially you definitely should see 4 of the fights on the card. You absolutely should. And if you're familiar with Vito Mielnicki's rise, I probably want to see that fight as well. So this opponent coming up for Jesse, Fernando Martinez, it's actually a fight I actually have been wanting to see. It's really tough to find anybody that I think even has a remote chance of beating Jesse, if I'm just being 100% real, in his weight class. But how do you see this particular fight going for Jesse? What's the challenge here?
I think the challenge is the aggressiveness and the energy of Puma Martinez. I mean, a lot of people believe this is the best fight in the division. Last time out, Jesse unified against Cafu, who's a really big puncher, but he's a counter puncher, likes to sit on the ropes and pot shot, whereas Puma Martinez likes to just come at you with all action. So I'll be honest, it could be a style that could really suit Jesse Rodriguez. I mean, his footwork is phenomenal. He punches very hard himself. His punch picking, his IQ, all of that is top draw. So I think it's going to be a tough night for Puma, but he's a very tough man. And I think it could steal the show. I really do. I think, Jesse seems to be getting better and better. He's still a very young man. And, for me, he's sometimes these younger weight classes smaller weight classes don't really get the credit. He's been getting the credit because of his performances, because we've been pushing him hard. But people are really starting to understand and give this guy the pound for pound notoriety that he deserves. And when you look at the card, you've got a lot of great fighters on the card, but this is the guy who is the pound for pound top rated guy on the card.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say without a question, when you look at the card from top to bottom, if you were to ask me who is the best fighter, regardless of weight class on the card, I'd say it was Jesse. I'd say David Benavidez is right behind him, right?
Yeah, good fighter.
Yeah, but I think I would agree. Why do you think size bias is still such a thing in boxing?
I just think casual fans like to see the bigger guys, knocking each other out. I mean, the AJs, the Tyson Furies, those guys, when they finish a fight, it's pretty spectacular to watch. So I feel like the smaller weight classes are really, preferred by the bigger boxing fans, the hardcore boxing fans, because they appreciate the skill. But for me, it's down to the style as well. Like, if you watch Jesse Rodriguez, even if you're a casual fight fan, you love to watch him in flow.
Yeah.
But if you speak to a true fight fan, and even when you speak to the fighters, you see the social media guys interviewing all the fighters. Who's your favorite fighter on the card? Jesse Rodriguez, bam, bam. Everybody's answering the same thing because they appreciate what he's done and also how good he is.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. So I do want to talk about the experience of kind of being Chris Eubank. Just the journey and the story of that was so amazing. But I'd be remiss if I didn't go into Anthony Joshua,
Yeah.
Jake Paul. That is, uh, it was hilarious, right? Because Anthony Joshua's response on the announcement was like, this dude is loco. Like
I know, yeah,
he's
it
not
is.
a.
That's true. I mean, you know,
What I mean, what are you guys going into this like feeling like what is his angle?
the angle is a great spot for us, really. Like the reality is, we got made an offer.
Hmm.
How can we say no?
Hmm.
Do I think it's a really competitive fight? No. Do I think Jake Paul's going to get knocked clean out? Yes.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not the promoter of the show, so I can't even sit here and tell you, oh, yeah, and even try and argue the fact.
Hmm.
Has Jake improved? Yeah, a hell of a lot.
Hmm.
Like, he's a boxer. He's a cruiserweight. He's not. I don't think he's world class, but he can compete at a decent level now.
Hmm.
This is just a mixture of like madness, delusion, maybe a bit of pressure. I don't know, where you've just gone from one extreme to the other. The criticism of you're just not fighting any real guys to fighting a monster
Yeah.
who's a two-time world heavyweight champion. And sometimes you can have people around you say, yeah, but he's been out for a year and a half, and his punch resistance isn't as good as it was, and his timing and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't buy any of that. But I guess if you want to believe it,
Hmm.
you can. But listen, I have to give him props because I won't. The thought of getting in there with this guy,
Yeah.
I've seen this guy, since his professional debut. We've represented him. I've watched him spar thousands of rounds. I've watched him hit pads for thousands of rounds, and it's just something else. Like, and I don't think And you got Nikita Baldarian saying, this is a much more dangerous fight than Gervonta Davis, but it's not quite as tricky. He's not got the speed. It's like, whoa, no, no, no. Trust me, he's got the speed. Not only has he got the speed, he's got like missile tanks behind the speed as well. And it's going to be a scary place to be. But listen, it's the fight game, and
How,
it's.
yeah. Yeah. How much different is this than the Ngannou fight? Like obviously Ngannou's much bigger than Jake Paul.
Jake Paul has a lot more boxing experience in a professional code than Francis Ngannou. The
Hmm.
size is very different. They're making AJ here come down to 245 pounds,
Mm.
right? Which, like, it's not going to be unpleasant, but it's there's work to do. Do you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
is that a disadvantage? Maybe, but we're fine with it. We understand that there's got to be some disadvantage. So Ngannou was big, strong. He was heavy-handed.
Hmm.
Um, dare I say, probably technically, maybe wasn't quite as good as Jake Paul, but
Hmm.
was much stronger, could punch harder, and
Hmm.
you'd expect him to have a much better chin. I
Yeah.
think he just gone 10 rounds with Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
He'd taken some shots in there.
Hmm.
Um, but like, I saw the Chavez fight against Jake Paul. Again, Chavez is like a blown up cruiserweight. Really, he's a light heavyweight now,
Right.
and he hit Jake clean quite a few times, and
Yeah.
he was never worried. But
Yeah.
AJ's not Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
No.
Right? So,
No.
but listen, maybe Jake's got a good chin. It doesn't really matter if he's got a good chin. He's still going to get knocked clean out. But you have to give him the credit of he's a professional boxer in my eyes. He
Yeah.
does it properly. He does the camps properly. But this is like a top 60 cruiserweight in the world
Yes.
stepping up to fight Anthony Joshua. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We were going to take an 8-round fight against a guy in the top 100 of the heavyweight division.
Hmm.
So the fact that we're doing it for a near career high payday and a
Yeah.
fight that's going to take, don't forget, profile wise for us, particularly in America, this is really good. We've only boxed once in America before, and that was the Andy Ruiz fight. Didn't go our way at all. Maybe that's where Jake's getting his confidence from. The last time AJ was in America, you
Mm.
know. But we loved the spot. Like I say, we received the offer, we negotiated the fight, and we're very happy to accept.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that you said near career high payday. How much are they bringing in? Like how much, how, like, we
A
love
lot,
numbers.
a lot, a lot. All
It's
I'll give you is a lot,
you're
for
talking
one
about
or two rounds is a hell of a lot,
over 30
look.
million, over
Yeah,
30 million.
yeah, all of that. I mean, like, look, I'm not going to go into the actual purse, but yeah, I mean, when I say a near career high, but it's right up there with his biggest purses, in the toughest possible fights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, when we rematched Andy Ruiz, we did it in Saudi Arabia. That was probably his career high payday at the
mm,
time. That was a
yeah,
tough fight, coming back off a knockout defeat.
yeah, hmm
Fighting Usyk for the
yeah,
first and second time. Near career high paydays. Like you're fighting the pound for pound number one.
yeah,
Now you're
yeah,
doing it against a cruiserweight over 8 rounds.
yeah, yeah.
So, and I think the best way is just to be honest. When people criticise, what do you want him to do? What do you want AJ to do? Say
No, I,
no?
I think
Like,
every
I
I
mean,
don't think everybody feels bad that he said
no,
it.
you can't. You can't say no. That's the problem.
Hmm
So, yeah, look, if it was still a lot of money, but you got to weigh up everything. You know,
hmm
but AJ's kind of at the stage in his career. The focus next year is to fight in February, then fight Tyson Fury. So
hmm
we kind of know what we're doing. So this is just a little bit of just a run out in the middle. Bank
Yeah,
some money, raise the profile, then smash 2026.
yeah, and I think honestly, for me personally, I think one of the more refreshing things is that it's very transparent that this is what we're
Yeah,
doing, and I don't think
yeah,
anybody has a problem with it. Yeah, go get that money.
yeah,
You probably hope the all for all intent and purpose, you would think that he's going to knock him out. He's going to win. It's going to
yeah.
be a high profile thing, and it's really a really good launch pad for him to
Exactly.
right back. So it makes all
100%.
the sense in the world. Makes all the sense in the world.
This
So
really puts him. This really puts him back as one of, if not the biggest stars in the sport.
yes, and
And
even
that's and he was up there anyway. But this gives
anyway,
him
I was going to say.
after being out for over a year, this just gives you the foot straight back in into the king of the castle.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, AJ seems almost impervious, and to me, his popularity feels like that. No matter, even the setbacks that he's had, it's like, yeah, but everybody still knows who Anthony Joshua is.
Yeah, always. Yeah, yeah.
It feels that way. So rule set wise, what are the rules for this fight?
Same as any professional fight, and we wouldn't do anything different, which is 8 rounds, 10-ounce gloves,
Eight
eight
rounds.
3-minute rounds.
Yeah,
I mean, the weight is 245 pound, but that's just because Jake's coming up from cruiserweight. So and that's it.
yeah,
We would never be interested in an exhibition like big gloves, 2-minute rounds. Like that's not boxing. You want to step up to fight AJ? This is how it's going to be. So props to Jake Paul for that. They never asked for anything different,
yeah.
and we wouldn't have accepted anything different.
And so in terms of like, obviously, I know, yeah, it's not going to be an exhibition, but because Anthony Joshua knows, this guy's a cruiserweight and he doesn't have nearly a smidgen of the experience that I have,
No,
is he
no,
not going to
no,
hold back?
no,
Is he going to hold
no,
back at all?
no, no. You can't, as a fighter, you can't hold back. You know what I mean? You train yourself to go in and destroy. I mean, that's what he does. And the sooner this is over, like we don't like people are saying, oh, if this goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds, it's a bit embarrassing for AJ. So we ain't playing around with our food in there.
Yeah, yeah,
We're going in to eat and to hunt.
yeah.
And as
That
soon
that
as he
is what
gets
people
anywhere
say.
near him, as soon as he gets the opportunity, he's unloading everything on his chin.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's up to Jake whether he can take it, whether he can survive, whether he can throw back. I don't know. But he's going to get the heavy artillery from the first bell.
yeah. That is what people will say, and you are
Yeah.
correct. If this fight goes past 3 rounds, I
Mm.
think that's how people will talk about it. Like AJ lost.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what people do. So I want to go back to last weekend with Conor Ben and Eubank. I'm gonna be honest, as bitter as that feud has been over decades, it was so nice to see
Mm.
Chris Eubank like essentially drop his guards
Mm.
and be gentlemanly towards Conor Ben. How did you feel like as because it's been some nasty stuff, obviously, with you and
Mm.
Eubank and Ben and Eubank and eggs at press
Mm.
conferences, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
How
I
did
think,
that feel to see it go that way?
part of me feels like this is all part of, Chris's kind of not game, but like, he plays the game very well. He can be a little bit controversial. He can be humble if he wants. I think generally when you share the ring with someone
Mhm.
over 24 tough rounds, there is that respect. I don't think those guys are ever going to be social together, but they must respect each other, particularly after the first fight. I mean, this was really a beatdown, and I don't like the narrative. Chris Eubank was tight at the weight. He was tight at the weight in the first fight. Look what happened in the first. He won the first fight. I mean, he made the weight much better this time than he did last time. You could see that at the weigh-in. I mean, he was, but the first fight is what took the toll on Chris Eubank Jr. Right? You don't come through fights like that at that age and improve, in my opinion. And Conor Ben said in the build-up to that fight, I took his soul in that first fight. And that's what I kind of saw. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a wonderful performance from Conor, really disciplined, really mature, and he beat him up.
He did.
But, that first fight took a lot out of Chris Eubank Jr. And I said going into that fight, I think this will be his last fight. And I think that is how it will be. They both earned a lot of money, but for Conor now, his star is shining bright and he has a wonderful future ahead of him.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I heard, I think it was Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks, how they said the rematch almost always favors the younger man.
Yeah.
And that usually is kind of what you see. And it definitely looked like that. Connor just really ran him over.
Yeah.
And it was I felt like around about the 6th or 7th round, Eubank just essentially acquiesced to like, yeah, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. So now next steps for Conor being, I'm sure you saw today, Ryan Garcia announced the fight with Barrios. And I know that was a guy who had long been on Conor's radar to go for a world title. Where does Conor Ben go now? Does he wait for the winner of that fight, or what does he do now?
Yeah, I spoke to him today. I mean, it's tempting to wait for the winner and have a big fight in the summer. I mean, Conor Ben against the winner of that fight is massive. Do you want to wait that long? If you're waiting till February, then someone gets cut, then injured, and then you're out till June, July. You've been out for 7 or 8 months. Like, it's a long time. So the next move's going to be important. I think the first thing is to make sure that he can safely get to 147, and perform there. That's the difference. He believes he can. The science tells us he can. But I would like to see him have a fight in March or April time and then fight the winner in the summer. I think it would be a huge fight, but definitely the strategy now for Conor Ben is to return to 147 and try and win a world title.
Yeah. I love that, especially capitalizing off of the popularity and the growth that he has had from just his public profile has been completely flipped to a positive. So he has all kinds of momentum right now. And it would be great to see him come out there, get a fight. I don't like the word stay busy fight because anytime you're in the ring with somebody, it's a fight, but a fight just to be active. And then, if he could get the winner of that, that would be awesome to me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I consider you one of the foremost voices in boxing. So I like to ask this question. Did it with Canelo, a few people. I'm gonna throw a few names out to you, and I would like the first word that comes to your mind. And these are random boxing people. And I want to know. Okay. So the first one is Dana White.
Powerhouse.
Chris Eubank.
Junior or senior?
Junior. Senior might have been even more interesting.
Yeah, junior. I'll give him respect. Respect.
Yeah. Naoya Inoue.
Pound for pound.
Gervonta Davis.
Troubled.
Jake Paul.
Crazy. Loco, man.
And then this was kind of out of left field. Peter Khan.
Peter Khan. Yeah. good manager. Good manager.
Yeah. All right, that's what I got for you today, Eddie.
All right, mate.
Appreciate your time so much. Best of luck this Saturday and the rest of the year moving forward.
Good to talk to you, mate. Take care.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.